Everybody good?
That's why I look so fucking good. Sorry, let's go.
It's okay. I'll just clap in.
Let's go, man.
Kick it off, B.
Yes, we did, cause we back at it again. It's the fighter and the kid.
This is really the fighter and the kid.
Come on, baby. We're talking about killing. We're talking about longevity.
Assassinations.
We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Aubrey Marcus, I haven't seen you in way too long. I've been here more than 4 months.
I know, bro.
But we get to a certain age, buddy, where it's like, if we ain't making money, if we're not doing business or learning, it's hard to just hang out. When I'm too
Or
old
kids.
to be hanging
Or
out. I got kids.
Well,
I got kids.
Yeah, Ob didn't have kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we did talk on the phone though, that one time.
Well,
We
that
did
counts.
talk on the phone and we texted.
Which for men, you know,
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's a big
phone call.
That's exactly.
I mean,
by the way,
Are you a voice
seriously.
note guy?
No, I hate them.
Yeah, they're long.
Yeah.
That's tough. But sometimes they're necessary.
Yeah.
But then I often read the transcript.
Yeah, I do
It just
too.
kind of comes.
Y'all usually read the transcript instead of listening to it, and the spelling's all off. You're like,
yeah.
Jesus
Sometimes
Christ,
it's
dude.
They did this.
unintelligible.
Like, I always go back to, talking about supplements and all that. The Harvard did this exhaustive study. I don't know if you saw it. Like, they looked at all the metadata. They looked at everything. They took in all the factors, diet and exercise. Yes, all that stuff's great for longevity. But apparently, the number one factor in longevity and living a long time is your relationships, not
It's
just
loneliness.
your family.
It's loneliness.
It'll kill you.
I know.
You need your friends. You need a friend group. And
That makes
men
sense.
get older and they tend to get lazy about that.
Yeah.
But you got to have those times when you hang.
The thing that saves me is I play so many sports.
Yeah.
So like,
Do you
with
still
the-
like rec?
Oh, all the time.
You look
Like
you
club
look
sports?
great,
Yeah.
dude. You look
I'm
like you're
playing
in great shape.
basketball. I'm playing pickleball. I'm
Damn,
playing
you in a
tennis.
men's basketball league?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I played probably 5 seasons.
Goddamn.
It's been a year. Yeah,
I play a lot of tennis. I'd love
Still
to play.
hooping?
Still hooping. Still balling.
Still balling?
Still balling.
You know, Ob his team was super good.
He's a good athlete. He's a
Yeah, but his team
Yeah.
in high school was like what
Top
ranked
20, top 25 ranked team.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
Jesus.
and we had Chris Mim.
And your mom is a tennis pro, so you play.
Semifinals of Wimbledon.
What?
Jesus
Your mom was
Christ.
that good?
Yeah,
What?
lost to Billie Jean in '68.
God dang, I didn't know she played Billie Jean.
Oh, that's no
Kathleen
joke.
Harder. Yeah,
Oh, so you come from real athletic stock.
for sure. I spread it around too thin, so I was never like that great. I mean,
Yeah.
I was a good baller. Like I got a lot of,
But never tennis.
state accolades.
Not tennis?
I played enough tennis to be okay, but basketball
Did your
was my
mom
jam.
drive you towards tennis or no?
No, she didn't. Not at all. She just would go play, and then I wanted to go play with my mom. She beat me till I was like 28.
Oh, yeah.
Like until
yeah.
finally she was old enough and I was strong enough that I could beat her.
I didn't know your mom
And
was
it,
that
it
good.
wasn't even like a great success. It was like, well, this was
It's
just
a whole different
age.
level. Yeah, yeah.
And what high school did you go to?
Westlake High.
So there's Westlake and Lake Travis.
Yeah.
And those are the two big boys.
Big
Big
sports boys.
Big
Drew
boys.
Brees was our quarterback when I was a sophomore. Chris Mim, who played like 8 seasons in the NBA, he was our
What?
center. And then, yeah,
Big
Oh
boy
my
sports.
God.
Because
That's
Ob was out here in the, before it was cool.
But you've always been athletic. I mean, you're a big guy.
yeah, I mix it up.
Yeah. Yeah, you look good. You look like
Thanks,
you've been
man. I feel good.
You look like you've been kind of. Now you have this company. You killed it with On It.
Yep.
Started this thing called Correct.
Yep.
When do
got
we
the
get
band back together.
Got the band
Got the
back together.
original band
Really?
back together.
When
Yeah.
do we get to start taking some of that stuff?
Now
Yeah.
it's ready.
Okay.
Go to correctlife.com. You can get them on Amazon too.
I always tell the story about you.
Yeah.
This is what I always say about you, and I never forgot it, and I say it all the time. I've known you now for 15 years almost, maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Might be almost that much. And when you sponsored Fighter and the Kid, when we were really becoming something, and I said, what do you want me to say about the product? And you said, do you remember what you said? You
Whatever
said,
you wanna say.
You said, just be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest with what you think. And that's it. And I went, that's amazing.
And that's
And
how
then-
every company should be. If they
Every company,
just
but they're
don't
not.
give us a script.
Yeah.
But you
Don't
took
let
your
us
own
push
product
this.
all the time. So did Joe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw that with my own eyes.
It was legit. I'm still taking Alpha Brain now, along with the new Correct supplements.
Yeah.
There's an interesting study I just saw that was Zach Bush was talking about, where they put people in a Faraday cage and then they measured their electromagnetic frequencies and everything that was happening in their body. And when they brought them into emotions of like extreme joy, like talking about a sentimental moment with their grandmother or something with their wife or their kids, the time their kids were born, and they brought them into that moment, there was a spike of energy, whether it was from the heart field or the mental field, but there was a spike of energy that was measurable. And then when they asked them about other traumatic, experiences or places where they were super vulnerable or bad things happened, they saw the same equal amount of energy expelled. And the theory being actually that it's authenticity that actually spikes the field, because our souls are in truth. Like our spirit body knows truth. We know the frequency of it. We know the resonance of it. And so when you tap into truth, actually your whole body lights up.
I couldn't.
And so truth is
agree
even
more.
more important than the positive emotions, just being real.
Well, I think especially now, like with AI, like Rogan and Santana were talking about, like AI is going to take over and it's going to ruin the entertainment business and all these jobs. I think there's going to be a thing where being authentic destroys all that. Where we're going to be able to tell what's AI, but then the people that are authentic and actually have talent are going to be bigger than ever.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in any marketing field. Like you can use AI to market your product. Good luck. People go, you're trying to sell me something and you're not really connecting with me. And they get turned off. And I think that as I get older, I think that sickness, depression, all that comes from being inauthentic. I think that if you can try to align yourself with the truth and never lie and be as honest as you can, it is the most important far and away. You resonate with truth. And the minute you grade against that, good luck with that shit.
But I think, and the public shows that, like we've had things that I've done where we'll hire a team, we'll have this professional and this videographer and he's editing. It takes 2 weeks to get back and it has all this sizzle and it looks great. Or I can just take my phone and do it myself.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore.
So in Hollywood,
because then people go, dude, now this is manufactured.
That's
like,
right.
You did all this. Like, but you just took that on the spot right now? Cool.
That's right.
We like that.
So Hollywood
Weird,
Hollywood's always made this huge mistake. That somebody will get an idea, somebody will write a script, and it'll be a hit. It'll be a big thing. And it'll come from somebody when they're alone in their room for 2 years,
they're
whatever
really
it is, and they're writing, and it's everything, it's all of them. They put it out there, then a director gets passionate about it, a producer, they have fights over it, but something beautiful happens, right? It's like all these moving parts. You get Star Wars, you get Raiders of the Lost Ark, you get Raging Bull, you get all these movies, whatever they might be. And then Hollywood does this. They go, aha, let's get an unoriginal idea.
Yep.
I'm an executive. Here's an idea. And then let's get the guy who directed it from that movie. And then we'll get this writer over here. And we'll just attach a bunch of people to this idea that I have. And it loses its soul. And it always fucking fails. They do that with TV too.
I know.
TV like Seinfeld, it's an accident. It almost happens by accident. It's like, what's this show about? It's this.
Well, and the reason for that, there's some big executive. He has to justify his salary.
And they get
So
scared.
he's like, let me attach my name to this. I have the idea. It's like, no, let the creatives do the thing. You're just a vehicle, dude.
So
Get
many
the
TV
fuck out
shows
the
I
way.
would see. They were like, she was the producer on Seinfeld. Cool. Well,
One thing that AI is cool for is I just popped open my Instagram last night before I was going to bed, and I saw Jake at this kind of weigh-in with
Gervonta Davis.
Gervonta.
Yeah.
And then immediately like romantic music plays and they start making out.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Someone said to me, goes, this can get Brian 100, because Brian knows false AI. They said to me, like, this can get Brian 100%.
And I was like,
Dude.
that's how
Like
you fucking use
facing off and
AI.
making
That's
out.
really funny.
It's funny.
Is that going to be a real fight? Did you say it was an exhibition?
Exhibition.
Yeah.
How do you feel? This is my thing on it. We both, like, you're closer with Jake than I
Yeah.
am. We both love Jake.
Yeah.
I'm with Dana when he was on Impulsive, and he's like, dude, you and your brother fight guys your size.
Right.
He's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, fight people your fucking size, man.
It is a little
I'm a little bit like with the Gervonta Davis, Jake, it's like, all right, can Gervonta deal with the size? But I just don't. For Jake, and he has this, it appears, you'd know better than most, he has like this yearning for whatever reason. He wants this cosign, this validation from the boxing community. He just, for whatever reason.
That's 100% in his sights.
Yeah,
but in the
my
meantime,
thing is like, this is pushing that further and further, because I think he was kind of here, and then the Gervonta Davis, the Mike Tyson's going, voot,
well, so he just did. So he has this kind of strategy where he'll fight a legit, fighter. Like Chavez Jr. was getting a little older, but it still got him ranked, actually, because that was a legit sanctioned fight. Yeah. He beat this guy. He ended up number 14 on a cruiserweight list. I think that's what happened, but he got ranked with that. But then he'll go for something that's just a spectacle. And we remember the spectacles in the Pride days where you had some little guy versus a big guy. And everybody's asking that question, how will speed do against size? And then Jake capitalizes on this question that's in people's mind, has a fight.
he's making tons of money.
And like that. So he has this strategy of like, all right, let me go do the thing that's going to get maximum attention.
Meanwhile, he's getting better as a
Netflix is going to
boxer.
co-sign,
Yeah.
and then he'll go switch back and then fight another fighter who's on his track. But
He's
there's
legit-
no
he legit
there's no
trains.
doubt that his goal
Of course.
above anything is to be the cruiserweight champion.
That's what I don't get. If I'm Jake, fuck being legit in boxing. Fuck being the cruiserweight champion. 'Cause I think that's gonna be more difficult than he thinks. Just keep doing the circus.
All right, so let me tell
Keep
you,
making
I
the
know
money in the circus.
Jake's one of my best friends. Like I know him. I've been in ceremony with him.
He's
I
been
know
at
him
all
at
his fights.
All his fights. I go to
And
his.
just so
I
we're
go to
clear,
his
this can
training.
sound like some fucking black magic. Usually me and Ob talk before the fights, and Ob predicts the win. And he's been right, 3 for 3?
Like no, 6 for 6.
When we-
but for
we
like
talked
3
3.
of the times we saw so we'll go into meditations together and breath work, and we'll have visions, and they've happened to turn out, oftentimes in strange ways. Like we're going to have a picture of the fighter you just knocked out on all fours, and they're going to be on all fours. And that was in the Mike Perry fight. And there's that picture that comes right out where he gets knocked down and he goes, you can get knocked down in a lot of different ways, but we just saw that moment and it's happened. So I don't know what the fuck that is.
Me and Ab would talk, and he'll tell me, and then I'll watch him. I'll call him like,
It's
holy
great. I mean, it's just,
shit. dude.
it's not what I'm doing. It's just a blessing that kind of comes to us. But what I can say is he treats these like world championship fights. Like he's going in and training, and his team is dialed and they're training. And I really like how he does it because it's so serious, but also so relaxed. Like right before the Tyson fight, we're front row. I'm there. We do the breath work, the meditation. Things are serious. I go back in right before his walkout, and they're all dancing. They're all dancing. Like he has a way of dealing with pressure that I think actually is one of his biggest advantages.
And I think that's since he was like 6. There's been a camera in his face, and he deals with the naysayers, the attention, anybody that has anything to say. He
knows the game.
It's like he knows the game, but he also knows like good or bad. They're talking about him.
Yep.
Like because I told
Attention.
you because when I worked the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather, and I was the Logan Paul expert for Showtime. I'm in his dressing room, and they're having a good time. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? They're like playing music, and Logan was like, "Hey, we talked to my dad. He's super nervous." And I was like, "What? I've never met the guy.
That's my role.
I've never met the guy.
I talked to Pam and I talked to Greg, and
Because the parents are nervous.
The parents are nervous.
My
I'm
thing
like,
about Jake-
it's
Logan
good.
and Jake are like,
I think what people don't realize.
Logan goes, "I've already won."
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, hey, no. He goes, "Not very won." He goes, "Dude, I'm a fucking YouTuber fighting Floyd Mayweather." He goes, "We've already won." I was like, "You're awesome."
And that's
dude.
why I think he performed at the best of his ability, in that fight. Like he was never going to beat him, but he did the best that Logan could do. And I think that's because their mindset is in the right place. And I think that'll play to Jake's advantage. But let me just answer the question. Why is Jake doing this?
I don't get it.
Jake's
No,
doing
I get
this
the money thing.
because he's got plenty of money.
I know.
And so at a certain point, the money doesn't matter as much. But what Jake needs is he needs some kind of thing that's scary to him and dangerous to him to actually keep him
alive
on the path. Yeah, on the path
get it.
where he's not off the rails, because he has everything available to him.
Yeah.
He just bought like this crazy ranch in Georgia that has all of the coolest things in the fucking world, and he's got a beautiful place in Puerto Rico, an incredible, wife to be. He's got
everything
all
he
the
wants.
money, but he needs something dangerous so that he stops drinking. He starts getting dialed in. He gets super focused.
I understand that.
He's
And
very
so
smart about that because
he knows
I don't
he needs
think
it for
people
himself.
realize what it takes to show up at a gym and spar and get hit in the head all the time. That's very uncomfortable, painful, dangerous, causes all kinds of issues. It's really hard to train well as a boxer. It's really fucking hard. I think you never know what's going to happen every day. And I think he's sparring real dudes, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
You don't get as good as he's gotten without training
correct
properly.
Correct.
Yeah, his
that's
team
why I
is-
have so
his
much
team is
respect
dialed.
because it's really hard to do that every day, especially when you're that wealthy and you have everything.
And that's why he needs to do it.
Yeah, he's smart enough to
it's
know
hard.
he's got to
Yeah.
keep himself,
Yeah.
sort of like uncomfortable.
I'm curious how it ends.
I think he's
Because
gonna.
when we had Logan on the show, he was like, "Me and my brother, what we're doing, it ends with me and him fighting each other." He's like, "That's how this ends."
Well, Logan better be training as much as his brother.
Logan's I love Logan. I was just at his wedding, and he's one of my homies too. He's great, but Jake's just on a different level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that Logan
Boxing-wise?
isn't an incredible athlete. Obviously, he's doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
He's
But
jumping
Jake's
off the back
just
rope.
focusing on
he's
boxing.
just
It's
boxing.
different.
Yeah.
He's just and Jake has that power gift that Rogan talks about all the time, where he hits somebody. I mean, that first body shot to Mike Perry cracked a rib.
Yeah.
He's
You know,
big. He's so
like
fucking
he just
big.
has that thing where everything lines up.
How do
the
you think
bones.
it ends?
I think it ends with Jake being a cruiserweight belt holder. I don't know if he'll unify the belts or whatever, but they'll find a path to like somebody in the cruiserweight who has a belt. And I think Jake's going to bring that energy of shocking somebody with the attention. Jake's positive energy that we're working on the whole time. Like what people don't realize is this is also, you know, for anybody who's seen Chief of War, which is a great show out now on Apple TV Plus. At the end, they have and this isn't a spoiler. At the end, they have a battle, and in the battle, it's like let the spiritual warfare begin, and their own shamans and singers start calling in the spirits of the elements and all, and like everything good to get the mind and the spirit aligned. And Jake's doing that at 100. He's got, you know, Lucas Mack, who's one of the best breathwork practitioners. He's got myself and Vailana singing the sound bowls. Like we're bringing the best spiritual energy. He's got
Aubrey.
the best training.
Excuse me, because he's not going to say it. I really appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for your spiritual energy, bro. Because when he's in there with a cruiserweight contender, some dude who's been throwing his right hand since he was 7,
the
I don't
streets
think
of
a lot of
Brooklyn.
that's going to matter. That's a big problem to
How
solve.
about I say that Alex Pereira does the same fucking thing?
I'm sure he does, but,
You know
but
what?
Alex
Like,
Pereira's
you
also been
see-
training for a long time.
Of course. So, but I'm saying it's the mix.
Yeah, it's the mix.
Like Alex Pereira, when he does that thing where he walks out, it's for real.
Yeah.
It's for real.
Sure.
He's
There's
bringing
a
some
dark magic
He's
from
bringing
him.
some
Yeah.
deep jungle energy.
Jake's got that work ethic, so I think that getting his mind right, which is what you're talking about,
Yep.
but then also just
That's half the
having
battle.
having these skill set, the patterns, the ability.
But I think what people need to realize, this was I was trying to explain when we were talking to Rogan about it. Jake in all aspects, besides his name and the fame, but if you just break down his skill set, he's still a blue belt in boxing.
Yeah.
But he's performing at a black belt level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
Like
part
as
of
far as the circuit where he's at in his career and how many fights he has, it'd be if you're giving out belts in boxing, he'd be a blue belt.
Yeah.
Like there's kids in New York, Cali, who are on the regional circuit with 30 fights and they're blue belts. Jake's at that level,
Yeah.
but with his fame, who he is, and the opponents he can get,
his
he's fighting at a
ability to
black
deal with
belt
pressure
level.
too.
That's it.
Yeah. It's the
he
pressure that
loves-
makes
He
him
rises
different.
to
the
the
pressure makes him better,
That's
and it
the
makes other
difference.
people worse. And the
Yes.
pressure he brings to an opponent is overwhelming. It's like they're looking at everything. They've never seen anything close to that.
Yeah.
Like I bet. I mean,
a real
maybe
thing.
Brendan could, but most of us listening couldn't name the cruiserweight belt holders.
I couldn't.
Right? Like even you would probably struggle with.
Tough. Bring it up, Chin.
Let's take a little break. I want to talk to you about Beam Creatine.
Dude, before you talk about creatine, join the Patreon,
Yes.
patreon.com/TFATK. That thing
go.
is popping. If you want this episode ad-free, we do extended episodes. We do bonus content. I just released a whole part 1 of all the cars in this garage. We got fun stuff on there. Join the movement. It's patreon.com/TFATK. But let's take a little break here, dude, because as an athlete, you're always looking for an edge, not just for a fight, but every freaking day. You train seriously, whether it's lifting, running, competing, just staying dialed in. You probably already know what creatine can do. I'm a huge advocate for creatine.
Yep.
I take 20 milligrams every single freaking day.
As
good
do
for
I.
your brain, good for your muscle, more power, battery recovery, the ability to push through when the most people are gassed.
Well, creatine is the most studied supplement ever. And I've never talked to a scientist or anybody who doesn't believe in creatine.
A lot of people get it through their meat, but unless you eat an insane amount of red meat, you're probably not getting all the creatine you need.
Well, Beam creatine is the highest quality. you can
Dude,
get.
and creatine is not created equal, and that's exactly why we switched to Beam Creatine.
No fillers, no sugar, nothing
BEAM.
synthetic. Just clean,
It's a
pure
game
creatine.
changer, something clean, effective, and easy to trust. Beam makes it that freaking easy.
Mine came with one of those little stirs. You put it in
Yeah,
the thing.
I love
like
those
that.
things. I
Love
make a
that.
mess with them, but I love them.
Yep.
But like everything else, the quality matters. Beam Creatine is just that high quality. They don't use fillers. They don't use sugar. Nothing
It's tasteless.
synthetic.
Tasteless.
Just clean, pure creatine backed by science, used by people who care about staying mentally sharp and strong. All right. So right now, Beam is giving you guys 30% off for a limited time. Just head to Shop Beam. That's shopbeam.com/fighter. Use the code fighter at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/fighter. Use the code fighter. Get 30% off your first order of the best creatine ever.
Like the cruiserweight champions, nobody knows, and they're not. So you know why? Because they're not dealing with that much pressure.
No.
So when
Different
he's
animal.
targeted that specifically, it's like it's a soft spot in the pressure sphere. And he's
Cruiserweight's
gonna go fucking
188?
take
Is
it.
it 188?
No, I think it's 200.
No, it's 200.
So it used to be Alexander. Yeah, we don't want any part of that, of course. But
Well, no, he's heavyweight now.
yeah,
Jayo Patia,
Badu Jack would be a problem.
Badu Jack. Yeah,
Badu Jack.
So
Badu
I
Jack
think
is-
I think Jake's gonna fight. I mean, I watched Gilberto Ramirez fight, and he's good. He's great. He's a pro. He's a champion. But like, I think and I think Jake's timing it. So he'll have 3 more years of training, 3 more years of fights. Half
Yep.
of them will be on the spectacle side. Half of them will be legit. And then when he comes, he's gonna bring his skill, which may not be as great as theirs, but he's going to bring his mental fortitude, what I'm calling spiritual energy, which is just belief.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Connor had that too. Connor
Correct.
looked at somebody at his best before the fucking yayo and the fucking, 1942
Yep.
train that he went on. But he brought this belief that I'm going to knock
Agreed.
you out.
That's
and it was just so sure. And Jake comes with that same energy.
that's a big thing.
It's
But a
huge.
guy like Badu Jack, yeah, he's got to win.
I think for Jake too, like even if let's say he knocked off 2 legit cruiserweights, like that's so people don't understand. That's so fucking impressive.
Yeah.
And then even if he did get a fight with one of these gentlemen, Badu Jack or this other guy we're talking about, and whatever it went to a draw or it went to a decision and he lost,
That's huge.
That's fucking wild. He still wins.
I know.
That's incredible.
And it's never gonna be done ever again.
Yep.
Him and Logan, especially what Jake's doing, it will never be done again.
And
We'll never see it again.
And that's why.
Guys are going to try, but they're going to realize it's fucking tough.
Totally.
well, he's obviously a really good athlete. These brothers are good athletes.
He
But
is.
they also come this crazy work ethic.
They bring
They've
that.
never
they bring
not
that.
been work. Like I've talked to people who spent time, like even when he was doing Vine and shit, like Logan.
Oh,
it's like that
man.
guy was always in his room working.
It's
Logan's a
unbelievable.
monster.
Like-
It's unbelievable how much they
Yeah.
work and like how they don't get so exhausted and burnt out. And of course they do sometimes. And sometimes he's like, "Yo, bro, I'm a fucking mess." Like, and I'll come in and I'll be like, "All right, like, what do we got to do?" Like, what are the ways to actually release some of this energy?
I'm
and
always
some of this
curious
pressure?
how Logan and Jake, because right, we get hate. The 3 of us get hate, but we don't get Logan,
man.
Jake Paul hate.
Oh man,
That's a different.
I was talking to
animal.
Gordon Ryan about it. Gordon Ryan said, "Well, I was like, it's so weird that you're so good and you get this kind of hate." And he said, "I looked at GSP's comments. The great GSP, like, there's nothing to hate about that guy at all.
he's actually objectively unhateable.
He's so unbelievable.
Objectively.
Yeah, he's such a
It's like
such a-
Kim, Volkanovski, Max Holloway.
Yeah.
It's tough to hate on.
They're
those
such
guys.
good,
but they
also,
still get it.
Yeah,
Of course.
But he's such a good person. Like if you meet him, he's so gracious and nice. If he gets hate,
Well, Neil-
then none of this shit is real. Get the fuck out of here.
Neil Brennan said it best. In one of his specials, he was talking about hate and stuff like that. He goes, if you go to Mozart on YouTube, where it's like, his most famous song, there's some guy like, this sucks, and thumbs down. And he was like, okay, well, fuck, dude.
Yeah, and
But
don't.
I'm curious how, because we can talk about, like everyone gets hate. I get all that. But for Jake and Logan, they still have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not that if it's still navigating that darkness. Like it's
Right.
still, you can say, oh, I don't read comments, right? Or, I don't see it. They know it's out there,
I get to work with Jake like really
That's why I'm
closely
asking
and
you, 'cause he's
intimately.
gonna
And
reveal that
what
to you.
happens is he's got his mind in a position where actually he's like, yeah, please bring it, because all of those comments drive my engagement. All of
Yeah.
those drive the algorithm. The more you hate me, the more likely you are to buy my next, pay-per-view.
the Floyd
because
Mayweather
you
effect.
fucking care.
Yeah.
Like as long as you care. So his mind's in the right place with it. But actually, like I can feel his body hold that negativity and that amount of energy. And it's like, it's in him. And so
course.
we have to do things to help him like
Of course.
release that and navigate it and keep his mind clear for his why, which is like, I'm here to do great things for the world, not just for Jake. For right now, it's about Jake.
Didn't he help? Wasn't he instrumental in helping Ben Askren?
Oh yeah, he's so generous.
I love that
He's
guy.
so
I
he like
hear
really
that, I'm
takes
like-
care of like everybody around him in such a great way. But his thing is like, when I look and I feel the presence of God, and again, this is spiritual, like, will God be like, Jake, I'm proud of you. Am I doing enough? So that's Jake's thing that he's kind of caring about and thinking about. And he knows that, all right now, I'm going to build as much resources as I can. I'm going to get as much fame / notoriety as I can. And then at a certain point, and along the way, I'll be generous. I'll help where I can. I'll figure it out. But I'm focused on Jake. And then he sees a transition point where he's like, all right, now I turn this towards the good, you know, and towards actually impacting things in a positive way. And interestingly, like whether you agree with this political stance or not, Jake made a post about Trump.
Yes.
Where he was just really honest and just gave his honest perspective on it. And out of everything he's ever posted, that actually got the least amount of hate and people were listening, and it went, you know, semi-viral when he made that. So he knows that all of this, if he picks his right spot and he comes with that authenticity like we were talking about, the hate will actually dribble away.
Yeah, Jake had a good post about the Charlie Kirk assassination too. He's like, we need God more than ever now.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's like,
I
yeah,
think that's
he might be
100%
onto
true.
something there.
Yeah, 100%.
There is a
we
religious
do need
revival.
God. We need God more than ever now. And what is God? Like you can believe in a whole bunch of things, but God is value. God is the right and wrong that we know in our body. You know,
I think it's being true to a
body.
transcendental truth, that thing that you can't measure, that you can't, that's above whatever is going on in this human realm. And what I mean by that is that inherent truth, that inherent truth that we are always ignoring. You know the truth. You know where the good is and you know where the bad is.
But I think it also gives people a North Star, whether you're on the left or right. Like the government, the companies, they want us fighting. They want conflict.
Yep.
Yes.
But if we all have a higher being, we can agree to that.
Yes.
Then the Charlie Kirk assassination, whether on the left and right, you're like, this ain't the way to do it.
I thought Jimmy Kimmel's speech was great.
I didn't see
he
it.
came back and he said, you know, he was talking about free speech and how important it is, but he also said, he got really emotional. He said, this was about a young man's murder, and I didn't mean to make anybody feel bad, especially not his wife.
Well, where was that energy?
I feel terrible
after it happened?
But he was contrite, and he said, you know, I understand how people could have taken what I said offensively, and he owned it. But the way he said it was like, and everybody listening was clapping to the idea that we should all be allowed to say what we want without fearing violence. And everybody on the left and the right, if you talk to the reasonable people, the reasonable ones, they agree with that. It's the lunatic fringe that we have to be careful of, that gets gamed by the algorithm, gamed by the bots, gamed by the foreign adversaries.
That's usually the younger crowd, though, because they have such, you know, soft,
heightened.
Yeah, and they're buying into social media.
Yes.
Like, oh, I got to do something. It's like, you don't, though. They're like, this isn't real, dude.
That's right.
Most of it's bots, and if it's not bots, you're listening to some crazy lunatics you would never hang out with.
And that's
those are the people getting in your brain right now, and
they're not even real, probably.
They might be real,
Right.
but those people aren't happy. And they're going to convince you that this is the way to go. Just so you know, if you go down that road, A, they're never going to talk to you again. But B, your life is over for the good. And then you killing Charlie Kirk, it doesn't stop the movement. It does
stronger.
it makes it even bigger. So if your intentions were to stop it and they're telling you it's going to, they're wrong, dude. And that's who you're listening to.
It might have issued in there might be a religious revival going on right now.
Well,
I've never heard in my lifetime people talking about God the way we are.
Well, you know, you go to the Charlie Kirk Memorial and you hear, you know, Erica Kirk, her husband just got killed. And what was her message? Her message was forgiveness. And then 100,000 people rise to their feet, and like the Spirit of God is there. I follow this guy Kaizen. That's Kaizen on Instagram. Great thinker. You know, went to Harvard, black guy, and he was like, y'all don't even know. You know, like the Spirit of God that I felt in that building when she said, like, I forgive them, I forgive him. Like that is like, that's the thing.
It's a miracle.
That's
It's so powerful, dude.
So powerful that I think people are underestimating that. And yes,
That's a central tenet to Christianity.
I have my concerns about the interpretations of fundamental Christianity. And so I didn't agree with Charlie Kirk on some of his premises because the God that I know is different than the God that he read about. But he also knows God. He knows that, and everybody in that building knows God, and it's in your body. And so there's one story I want to tell. So there's a reading of the Binding of Isaac story, classic Bible story, right? Where Abraham, whose father Nimrod went to sacrifice him when he was a child, right? So his father goes to sacrifice him, chooses not to, but he had that trauma. So he hears the God voice says, go sacrifice your son Isaac at the top of the mountain. So he brings his knife, he brings Isaac on a little walk, and Isaac's like, Dad, where's the lamb? You know, we're going to do a sacrifice. And fucking Abraham's thinking, well, son, you're the lamb. I'm just not going to tell you yet. Right? So he's hearing this voice. And then he gets up there and he has his knife in his hand, and then he hears another voice. Well, one Kabbalist reading is this is the voice of our own collective consciousness that's coming through, and it can become unclear. And I think in the case of these assassins, it becomes unclear, and they get this message. And then what happened when the voice cleared and said, "No, don't kill your son Isaac," it wasn't a test. They say that actually it was his arm that told him that this was wrong. So actually everybody's saying God told him, but it was actually his own gnosis that in his arm, when he went to go slay his son, his arm, his body itself, this thing that lives within us was like, this is wrong. And I think if we actually allow ourselves to feel God instead of think about God, then we know pretty damn close to what's right and wrong.
There's a book about this called The Moral Sense. And the moral sense is even when people do horrible things, they justify it along moral terms.
Yep.
You know, if you're playing Hitler or Stalin as an actor in a movie, you don't play him like a monster. How do you play him? You play him like a man trying to solve a problem.
Yep.
And Stalin, if you read about Stalin, Stalin was a staunch communist with the idea that, and Mao was the same way, I'm going to make everything really equal. And some people, unfortunately, are already past the point of no return. They can't be changed. We got to kill them. But we will force educate their children in camps, et cetera, et cetera.
I bet even that the guy who assassinated Charlie Kirk, when they show him jump, whether you believe it or not, but they have video of him jumping off the roof. I bet after he pulled the trigger, he was like, "Fuck."
You would hope so, you know. I mean,
There has to be something in him where he's like, Jesus
I
Christ.
do believe that, yeah, literally.
I think he was
I do
like,
believe that the
"Holy
body
shit."
knows, but I also believe that the mind can be hijacked, and then I believe there are dark forces in this. And then, you know, Ephesians 6:12. Not to get super religious here, but our fight is not against flesh and blood, not against our brothers and sisters, but against those authorities, those dark forces in the heavenly realms. And I think there are dark forces, and they can seize somebody's ideology,
Take advantage of
and
it.
then they can actually fill the body, just like God can fill the body. The dark forces can fill the body, 100%. And then once you're in that position, that's when, sadly, as the last resort, sometimes we need violence.
You know,
and that's
Aubrey,
that's a
10 years
difficult
ago,
part.
I would have said, "You're out of your fucking mind." I would have been, in my mind, I would have been like, whatever, here you go. I couldn't agree more. As I get older, what you just said is something I 100% agree with. I get way more metaphysical as I get older, not less. I don't get more practical. I get way more spiritual. I get, because I lived it. I lived the other, and I've lived this. And I couldn't agree more. I think that the devil's like a roaring lion, always kind of like circling and always
Looking for a
finding an
way in.
opening.
Always looking for a
and
way
you
in.
have to be vigilant. You have to be vigilant. What did Christ say on the cross? It is accomplished. Why have you forsaken me? But the last thing he said was, it is accomplished. I did it. I resisted temptation to the very end.
And I think we chalk it up, well, it's a mental health issue. I'm like, I truly believe that there are some bad people. I think some people are born evil.
Or maybe we
It's
have
just what
evil
it
and we
is.
have good in us, and you know, you give when you give quarter to the angels of your lesser nature as opposed to your better nature, they will take over. And that battle in our own spirit, the jihad, the idea behind jihad, the Arabic root is struggle. It's a struggle within your heart to stay pure as opposed to give yourself over to vice, right? Yeah. And that's the case with all of us. There's the beast and the flesh. There's the spirit and the beast, and we're always battling it out, always.
And evil enters the wound. So, like, if you look even at the story of Hitler, like maybe he was born, his daemon. So the Greeks had a term of a daemon, which is your ultimate destiny. Maybe his ultimate destiny was evil. I don't believe that. I actually believe that we all have choices, like you're saying. But trauma will actually impact those choices. So, you know, for one, he had a penis apparently that was crooked, like super crooked. So he couldn't actually, like, so super insecurity.
He couldn't get girls.
His parents were crazy, you know, like they weren't helpful, but he was an artist and he would pour his, you know, work into his art at the time. And maybe if he would have submitted that art to an art school and then got accolades as an artist,
he
wouldn't
did.
have done
He
it.
didn't get
But-
into the school of the Vienna.
Oh yeah,
School
so he
of the
got
Arts.
he got
got
denied.
You know why? You know why he got denied? He couldn't draw human figures. He can only draw. He was very good at drawing
Architect.
things.
So, but either way, whatever that wound was, whether it was its insecurity, I think it seized him. And then once it seized him, it was just all the devil working.
That
through
was
him.
his path.
It was like, this is your path. You are now on the path of a Sith Lord.
He became obsessed with purity.
And and it'll trick you into thinking that, giving you this false morality, like you're doing something good, but it's actually evil the whole way. And, because very few people, like the devil almost never tricks somebody, like you're going to go and do evil just for evil's sake.
No, they think
that's
they're
super
doing the
rare. They
moral
think they're
thing.
doing good. And
Yeah.
that's why the church burned all those witches and tortured all those heretics.
Did you
They
hear
thought they were doing
Sadhguru?
good.
You hear Sadhguru on Rogan? And Rogan said, "Oh, if we just have to be good people and do good things," and Sadhguru said, "No. People do horrible things to each other based on the idea that they're doing something good.
Yeah, they think
I
that-
got to break some eggs to make an omelet.
Yep.
The old saying. And no, you said you have to focus on building love in your own heart, in that deep feeling of love that you feel, that Christianity talks about, that Buddhism talks about, the idea of like focusing on joy. So Buddhist monks will do that. They will literally try to cultivate joy in their hearts. And what happens then is that is what you'll manifest. That's what you'll give. I always go back to the idea though, that in literature, the difference between a hero and a villain is the hero gets hurt by the world and decides he's going to protect the world from being hurt ever again. The villain gets hurt by the world and decides, now I'm going to hurt the world in return. That decision though is made at the same time. And what is it about some people that decide to go good and the other people that decide to go bad? What happens?
There's teachings that say at that exact moment where you're hurt, that is the exact moment where you need to make the most important choice of your life. So in the Lakota tradition, when they're passing the chanupa back and forth ceremonially, that's the pipe. One of the questions they ask in order to actually receive the chanupa is, when you were hurt, will you hurt somebody back? And they have to say no.
Well, you need an elder to help you with that, though, don't you?
It's in the Bible.
Yep.
It's also the reason why everybody cheered when Erica Kirk said, I forgive them. Like that power of forgiveness is the new level of consciousness. Einstein said you can't solve a problem at the level of consciousness that was created. What's the new level of consciousness? It's Christic consciousness. And I think we just all need to agree that there's many paths to Christic consciousness. I think, because otherwise you're leaving so many people on the outside.
Yeah.
And then you have one in-group who's got it, who can find their way to Christian, like Christ
That's
consciousness.
my joke in stand-up is that if
It's a
I hope
problem.
Jesus is God, because I think he grades on a curve. And I think he does. He's so
Let's hope.
forgiving. You're not going to get up there. You go to hell, he's going to be like, I know, just come. My dad's strict, but you come on.
Yeah.
But I think back to like social media, how toxic it is. It's like if you look at the leader of the free world, Trump, he tweets out some toxic shit, man.
Yeah.
So young kids, and Trump does a lot of things good I like, and then he does some stuff I don't agree with. But then you see his tweets, and you're like, buddy, like you're the president of the United States, man, and you're making fun of Jimmy Kimmel and this guy and this guy. So young kids are like, well, that's just what we do. Like if the president's doing it, why can't I do it?
And there were a
why
lot of-
can I make
there
fun
was a
of
lot of
Brian
criticism.
Callen or
Yeah.
Brendan or Aubrey? Like the president's doing it to Jimmy Kimmel.
true.
He has 40 million followers.
That's
I
true.
have 20. Why can't I?
So
this
true.
this is what we do. It's like it's not though, buddy. It's not, pal.
I feel
This
like
is not the
Kirk,
way,
the
dude.
Kirk Memorial was turned into a political rally too. That was not in such great taste.
But of course,
that's what
they're gonna-
presidents are going to
There's a big opportunity there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I think we need to transcend all of these binary ideas and get back to this. We're all children of God, and we're going to all have to figure this out, because one group asserting dominance over all the rest of the groups, it's never going to work. The more oppressed the other group feels, the more they're going to resort
all
to
being
violence.
gamed
And
this way. That's
and
what our
exactly.
algorithm games
And
us
so
that
who, and this is the question, and I do not have a fucking answer to this question, but who is the one gaming us to be against each other? Is it a bunch of individual actors looking for short-term
I think
gain?
it's our own hearts. I think that we love.
I don't think so.
fighting. We love seeing. So how do you get people to pay attention? Liberal gets smoked by conservative. Conservative gets smoked by liberal. And then Piers Morgan makes a fortune having all these counterpoints. Finally, there was this guy who is more on the left said, man, I am so tired of, I felt terrible about Charlie Kirk being killed. And all we're doing here, Carrie Lake's over here saying that liberals are doing this, we should go to war. And it's like, I don't want to do this. He goes, I just feel sad at this conversation and I'm not going to be part of it anymore.
Yeah.
It was great.
But
He was
no,
like,
they-
we all agree as Americans, this sucks.
Yeah, but they have evidence of bots and whoever's doing it,
Fuck
whether
yeah.
it's China, America does it, India does it, Japan does it, where they infiltrate and they can get Americans to fight. And it was China's plan for the longest time. Like the only way we can fuck with America is them
From within.
Divide and
They're too
conquer.
powerful. If they get if they're one, we don't stand a chance.
Divide and
But
conquer.
if we can make them fight amongst each other, then we can get to them. It's the only way you can fuck with us.
So one
and
theory-
it's working.
So one theory is
100%
that it's outside country influence looking to undermine our dominant power. That's a very good theory. And then there's another theory that there's a unified they, whoever they are, that have a plan for unified total control. And they are pulling all the strings, just like in the latest Superman, they had all these monkey bots that were.
My problem with they is that, if you keep following the path, you know where that leads? The Jews, and they're all holding strings. So every conspiracy theory always has a bunch of Jews who are controlling the world. And it's like,
Well, that's the
problem.
term cabal. And I think that's like.
That's right, by the way.
The
That's
cabal
right.
comes from Kabbalah.
I've never seen.
And so it's actually a Jewish slur. And so this idea that it's the Jews, well, they've been getting blamed for a lot of shit. And
2,500
certainly, I think there's probably Sith Jews and probably full-on Jedi. I know some full-on Jedi Jews. I'm fucking Jewish. Like, I care more about the good
Damn, you're
than
Jewish?
anybody. Yeah, 87% Ashkenazi.
Damn,
So
get out.
like fundamentally, yeah, they can go both paths for sure. I mean, they have. There's
you know
something.
Jewish?
No.
There's something that's in the. I think it's also
we'd like
like.
you to leave.
That's why.
So there's this idea of
I went, you're Jewish. He goes, yeah. I went, get out.
So there's this idea of the genetic bottleneck theory, right? You know the genetic bottleneck theory, where basically like Krakatoa explodes, most of the human population dies, but the most ingenious and the ones with the highest ingenuity and the ones with the highest resilience, they survive, and then their genes then flourish back out and repopulate the world. Right. So we have these moments, whether it's a flood or some other thing, that actually causes us to solidify genes in a certain level. And this happens on the human level. Well, the Jews have been persecuted so much that I think there's this internal genetic bottleneck theory. They've been hunted more than anybody since the Egyptian times.
The only way to survive
by
is
the
to be
Russian
needed in a
pogroms.
society.
So they have this thing where they've been hunted for so long that they've created adaptations, but they can turn those adaptations into something terrible or turn it into something beautiful.
Right.
And that's like
Well,
anybody.
let's go through a
And they
couple
take care of
inventions.
each other, their own,
Let's-
which I don't have a problem with.
Well, let's go through a couple
Why
inventions.
wouldn't you?
Well, the pill invented by a Jewish scientist. You guys like Hollywood? Hollywood was started by 4 Polish Jewish refugees. You like improv? Jewish art form. You like stand-up? Take a look at the original stand-up comics. Just take a look. You do your own research on that if you like comedy. You like fake tits? That procedure invented by a Jewish doctor. We can just keep going. Lasers. They do use them to control the weather, but they also use them to eradicate tumors. MRI machine invented by a Jew. So the next time you have a broken bone or a tumor, why don't you go ahead and feel for it instead of getting in the old
Hey,
Jew?
we were talking about this the other. Ob's the most athletic Jew I know.
That is
By
a
far.
fair.
By
that's
far.
a-
Let's
was your
go.
mom? Your
Let's
mom
go.
was Jewish?
Yeah.
Holy
I mean, both
shit,
sides.
she's number one.
To be,
Number one.
to be
We were talking about
87%.
it because
Yeah.
it's like Bob Cousy, Sandy Koufax is number one.
Oh, yeah.
Sandy Koufax number one.
They sneak in there.
Yeah.
You know?
But there's not a lot.
Well, which also shows, all right, if you're getting persecuted at this level, what helps you survive? It's not actually lifting shit, running. It's actually being smart.
Yeah, being
You know,
innovative,
and
being
so
needed.
being innovative
Yeah.
and being creative with the problem solving. So
Yeah.
I think this is it's not a racial thing. It's just simply that this group was persecuted for a long time, and that developed adaptations. Just like if when you spar against hard opponents, you get better.
Yep.
You have
There's
to
been a lot
learn
of
things. You have to
scholarship
figure
on
it
this
out.
too. A lot of scholarship on the idea that, to be a Jew was always to be on the outside looking in. So you were able to rock the boat. You were able to kind of be an innovator. You were able to say, hey, why don't we invent something called advertising? Why don't we do it? Was you never were hemmed in by. So when you're in a society and you're, say, British, there are certain strong norms you've got to follow. There are taboos, there are customs. When you're already been put on the outside anyway,
Experiment a little bit.
you're allowed to just so back in the day, the corporate raiders, you never raided a corporation back in the day because it was blue blood firms. There's a whole study on this. Blue blood firms, they were all British, they were all, they were American royalty, they were all blue blood Americans like the Kennedys and stuff. They ran the financial industry. And if a company was distressed, you never went in there and took advantage of them ever. It was just it was unseemly. But Jews were not allowed in those firms, those finance firms. So they started their own, like Goldman Sachs, like Lehman Brothers. You can go on and on about the different ones. And they were like, listen, it's a distressed company. We can go buy it at a bargain, turn it around, and sell it for more money. It's just fucking business. Yeah. They couldn't compete. That was considered by the society to be, a little bit taboo. But if you were a Jewish firm, you weren't allowed in those groups anyway.
It's an opportunity.
And now it's like an opportunity. I'm making money, motherfucker.
I get pissed so hard.
And
Jen. I get pissed so
Go
hard.
piss out of your
Go piss.
dong. big man
You
with
want
a
a break or you wanna
medium
keep going?
dick. I like your hair like that. Thanks, man. There you go, buddy.
This September, CBS hits are streaming free on Pluto TV.
I'm coming in hot.
For this month only, you can watch full seasons of the CBS shows you love. From the courtroom drama of Matlock to the heroics of Fire Country. Go back to where it all began in NCIS Origins, or watch the hilarious hauntings of ghosts, all for free. Full seasons of the CBS shows you love. This month only on Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Well, Brennan.
Let's take a little break here, dude, because
Yeah, I'm
one
not
thing
wearing
about you and
anything.
me-
I'm not wearing any True Classic for the first time. Just kidding. I'm wearing their underwear.
I feel itchy. I'm not wearing
always
it. I feel
something.
itchy.
I always have something by True Classic on. When you see me on stage at the Mothership every night, I'm wearing a True Classic t-shirt, almost without exception.
Dude, you see me in a white tee, it's True Classic. Why? Because it is the best shirt ever made. It fits just right, feels amazing. I've washed it a million times. It looks fresh as hell. And
It's also tailored where you want it, relaxed where you need it. No bunching, no stiff fabric, okay? Just clean, effortless fit that actually works in real life, and it's not overpriced. It's just like, it's every bit as quality as the designer brands, but not at that crazy price. And you can go to Target, you can go to Costco,
dude,
and
they're
get some.
blowing up. They sponsor the UFC. They sponsor this show. We're their very first pod.
Yeah, they're blowing up
Not
because
a big
people
deal.
love it. Because they
True
once you buy it, you
Classic.
keep coming back to it.
TrueClassic.com/fighter. Get hooked up today. The best shirts, joggers. They're more than shirts. They got everything. Button-ups, chinos,
You name
joggers,
it.
sweats, hoodies.
You
They
name it.
got it all.
Yep.
It's TrueClassic.com/fighter. Get hooked up today.
So, I mean, I think there's another part of this. And the other part of this is that there's teachings in the Torah and like the Jewish, whether it's the Talmud, the Zohar, you know, the Bible, there's teachings that you actually need to wrestle with the word that you're hearing. So Israel means, you know, he who wrestles with God. Jordan Peterson just wrote a huge book about it.
from
Is that
Jacob.
you're not just taking things at the surface level in a fundamentalist way, like this is the way. You're always going like, but maybe not. Maybe it's not the way. So it's taught into their religion, which I think goes into their, you know, mental architecture. Like, let's make sure this is the way, which can result in some bad choices and result in some really innovative, disruptive choices. I mean, Jesus flipped the tables over because
right.
the rabbis were corrupt. He was the most Jewish Jew of them all.
Yep, that's right. Well, you can also, I also think it's important to mention that you're allowed to hate the Israeli government for what they're doing in Gaza and not be called anti-Semitic. You're allowed to be outraged that Gaza is being turned into rubble completely, as in the surface of the moon, and be outraged by that and be very critical of the Israeli government and Netanyahu, and still not be considered pro-Hamas, anti-Jewish, and all those things. So, you know, you're guess what? You're allowed to have contradicting ideas. You're allowed to hold two ideas that oppose each other in your mind.
That
as a
would be
human
like
being.
saying if you criticize the Rwandan genocide that you were racist against all black people. Like you're not. You just this is and I mean again, I'm not trying to say that those were the same things, you know, and I think it's highly complicated and so fucking tragic. But fundamentally, if you disagree with an action, it doesn't mean that you're racist against the people who can, you know,
I've
who
been
did
very
that
quiet
action.
on this whole subject because there's no winning and there's nothing to say. And I think when I see what's going on in Gaza, I swear to God, I just find myself saying a prayer because I can't
Totally.
do a fucking thing. And that is the conflict. I think it's a biblical conflict. I think, you know, who solves that problem? At the end of the day, I'm going to sound again like I'd never say this 10 years ago, 5 years ago. God solves that problem. That's a biblical problem. That problem's been going on since Moses had a parting of the ways with the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. So
I think there's going to come a time where the Lamb prevails. And so what is the Lamb? The Lamb is the one, like Jesus, who received this unjust punishment. I mean, he was the best dude. You know, he's out there healing people, ministering. He was the best of us. He's the mark. If to sin is to miss the mark, he hit the mark. He's the best, and he gets the worst torture of the land, right? And that changed
prime of his life.
That changed history. He was the Lamb, and that changed history. Martin Luther King was the Lamb in his own. He was, sure, imperfect in his private romantic life, fine, but he was the Lamb. And Charlie Kirk got to play the position of the Lamb in his, you know. And again, you don't have to agree with all his premises, but that position of the Lamb changes the world. And I think, and I've never said this before publicly, you know, I understand that this situation was complicated. The things that happened on October 7th were real and they were heinous. But Israel had the chance to play the lamb. And one time, I don't know if it would have been this time, but one time the lamb is going to be victorious over the lion. And actually that's going to shift consciousness. And I think if they would have just held and said, this is what happened, and then got world support to say, this cannot stand in our world. And then I don't know what the solution would be. You know, I can't figure that shit out myself. But I think they missed an opportunity to play the lamb. I'm not saying it would have worked, but one time that's going to work. One time a country's going to get attacked and they're going to go, look at what's happening to us. And then the whole world is going to rally. And I think
Chaos, man.
I think Israel had that chance. And I don't know if it would have worked, but I know that they missed an opportunity to give God a chance to actually come in and shift the collective consciousness of the world.
Yeah, and sometimes you get to a point almost where it feels like it's a point of no return. You know, how does Mexico deal with their cartel problem when it's literally ingrained in every fabric of society, including the elites, including the government? It's like, good luck with that. What do you mean? You want to send in what? You want to send in American troops? See how that works out for you. You know, it's like, it's the same thing. I don't know. I think it's okay sometimes also when you get older to say, I don't know. Because I don't.
For sure.
I don't know.
And I don't know.
You want my opinion on the Israeli-Gaza thing? I don't know. I think it's awful what's going on with the Palestinians. I lose sleep over it all the time. I think that this proportionality is a conversation to be had. But what am I going to say?
So,
what do
it's
you want
so
me to say?
complicated because how do you know when that move will work, right? Because it didn't, you know, they got millions of them got marched to the Holocaust. We weren't even going to get into World War II until Pearl Harbor.
That's right.
They were like, "Oh, you fucked with us now." It wasn't that we were like, "Oh man, they're really doing some bad shit."
No,
to
we
the
came
Jews.
in the fourth quarter.
Let's go in and help the Jews out. No, we didn't have that feeling. We didn't have that sentiment in America. We were like, "Yeah, that fucking sucks." And then immediately we get attacked, and we're like, "Oh, no way!" And then we're like, "And also, this is fucked up." You know, at that point. So I think we have a lot of tribalism that's built into us. We gotta, you know, one, acknowledge that that's real, but also ultimately transcend it because tribes were always fighting tribes. And we got to get beyond the tribalism. We have to have one tribe of God and of people.
Well, I always get a kick out of people who talk about racism, and that's the problem. It's like we could look exactly the same. All we need to kill someone else is for them to be over there. That's literally all I need. Hey, those guys are over there. Fuck those guys. Yeah, I'm sure you see this with jiu-jitsu schools and stuff like that. They suck over there. They just train this. It's like, what?
But I think tribalism, that you're never going to get rid of it.
No, you gotta acknowledge it
being
and then transcend it.
tribalism as far as an American, that's like what's best for America, because China's doing their tribal, Japan's tribal, UK's tribal, India's tribal. That's fine. Take care of your own. Make sure your shit's in order. Make sure your house is in order. So do it it's okay to be tribal about America.
And it's also, I mean, so there's this thing, Abraham Cook wrote this, you know, thing called the Song of Songs, and he talks about the 4 songs. And the first song is the song of the self. We're always going to give a shit about ourselves. Like, we're always going to give a shit about ourselves. So acknowledge that. I give a shit about myself.
Yeah.
And then song 2, I give a shit about my family or my tribe. And we're always going to give a shit about our family and our tribe. And then there's song 3, I give a shit about the whole world. Right, I give a shit about all of humanity, and then song 4, I give a shit about the whole universe.
That's a long song.
It's a long song,
Long,
but all of
song.
them, the message is that you include and transcend each one, so you don't lose the care for yourself because you're not. You're kidding yourself. You're full of shit. You're spiritual bypassing. You care about yourself. Full stop. All of you care about yourself. It's okay. 2, you care about your family and your tribe, whatever that tribe is, whatever your identity. That's okay.
Yep.
And also, you got to care about all humanity. And also, you got to care about the whole universe, the cosmos, everything else, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. And you sing all of those songs. So they say the king is the one who sings all those songs in harmony and then finds wholeness. So it's not about transcending only. It's about including each song until you're singing one song that includes them all.
Which is why we've prepared a song for you guys.
Yes, please, Bryan.
Humne. I'll set the beat.
Which is why we...
Humne. You know how people are really good at that? Humne.
His girl is.
I wish I could sing.
I know. That'd be cool.
I wish I could.
I might fuck us all up, though, if we could really sing. And
If everybody can,
we try to be rock stars, you know?
Dude, my wife secretly recorded me. I was listening to Billy Joel. I was like, some folks like to get away, take a holiday. And I'm singing it in earnest, alone. And she just comes around the corner and she's like, did you take me? And I'm fucking belting that song because my voice is great because I sing like Billy Joel. Dude, I listened to that shit and I was like, Bad? That's too weak a word. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I got no talent. Oh,
With ChatGPT though, you can write songs, you can do whatever.
yeah, man.
They're creating some slack.
We're going to create. It's going to be a world where the best idea wins because execution.
That's right.
Is going to be. It's like how do you prompt that AI in the best way, and then how do you piece together a couple other ideas, and then
See, I think
really
as far
weird.
as entertainment, like music, like AI, it's going to come out hot and be like, look at this, it's a new whatever Drake song that I wrote. But eventually, people are going to want the authentic thing, even if it's not as good as the AI.
I don't know. Rogan and I were listening to this remake of
Yeah, he won't pipe down about it. It's
fucking-
okay.
of
It's okay. Many Men with 50 Cent.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's all right.
I don't know about that.
It's
That
all
guy's
right.
voice is as good a blues voice as anything I've heard.
Yeah, but all that's then that's going to be the standard for AI. And then eventually people are like, I want the real shit, man.
think, though?
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's just going to go to live shows because you're at a live show.
Yes.
And I think if it's just playing through the speakers, then it's just like,
There's
all right,
nothing
it's
to
fine
see.
in a dance club. But what gets you really hype is that there's a performer
An actual human.
who's like actually putting out a lot
Is
of
that
energy.
how
and then
young kids who grow up on AI music will feel, though?
Yeah, they will.
I think if they still
They
go
have
to
no
a physical
choice.
place, like the reason you go to, let's say you go to a hockey game, right? Have you guys ever been to a hockey game?
It's great.
It's great. Why is it great? It's because of the crowd. It's because of the
Yeah.
ecstasy that you feel when your team scores a goal
Yeah.
and that thing runs around and you leave feeling good. It's not that you can see the puck better.
Right.
You can't. You can hardly see the fucking
to
puck.
see.
It's like, but the energy of the crowd and like the energy of
Seeing
the
how
players
fast the
crying.
guys are moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you feel something. And I think this is going to come to a time where AI can think better than all of us, but it can't feel. It can't feel.
And
We can
AI
feel.
can't do live sports. You're not going to.
No. So
replicate
all those
live
things,
Yeah, it might
all
be
the
too
live things.
perfect too. Like sometimes AI, yeah.
I'm telling you, humans are like, I'm out, man. Eventually,
I'm
they're
already
gonna
feeling
simple-
that. Like with my scrolling with this Instagram, now I'm like, I'm not looking at it. Fuck off. You're gonna suck me in. And there's some great stuff.
It sucks
Yeah,
you in.
some
though.
great
You're
stuff,
on it
though.
all the time. It sucks you in.
Like great sayings, interviews. You're like, oh, that's an interesting little nugget of information. But it's like,
I mean, and that's also the thing. It's so hard to know what's real now. You know, like that. If we didn't know that AI existed, like if we rewound 4 times and
Oh my
Jake showed
God.
that video of him making out with
Yeah, like if
Javante,
Jake posted that.
and people would have been like, "Oh my God, this happened," and then there would have been all of the, but now we kind of are aware that
You have that
everything
video
we see
chin of Jake and Javante kissing at the face-off.
isn't there? I want to see.
is like one of his latest
Isn't
IG
there
posts.
a
it's on,
isn't
Jake's
there a
post?
law
Yeah,
against
it's on Jake's-
porn,
Jake's
using AI for likeness, porn likeness? I think there is. I don't know.
Yeah, AI porn is going to be actually. I think it's actually probably helpful because then
Yeah.
you know no stars.
Oh
actually
my God, that's fucking.
I love how Jake leans into it,
Javante's just not interested
Play
at
the
all.
music.
Oh, that's hilarious. Hold on. That is so amazing what they can do. Get the fuck out of here. That is as real as it gets, bro.
though. Jake put send to your lover.
That's as real as it gets. That's simply disconcerting, sir. Do that one more time. Let me get my hand on my pants. What the fuck is happening here? Ah, God, dude. He leans in heavy.
Yeah.
And brings the hand up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Isn't that crazy?
You, man. All right, that's enough. I can't watch it anymore.
I don't know how the fuck they do it.
Chin's got it on a loop.
It's
That's
too
Chin's
good.
screensaver, and I
It's
don't
too
blame
good.
him.
I mean, we're going to be able to see any
Bro.
one of our favorite actresses having the most hardcore
Of
porn.
course we are.
We're going to be able to see whatever we want to see
And
with
I'm not
our
watching
eyeballs.
any of it. It's the devil. Fuck you. I'm
That's
not doing
weird.
it. I mean, I might peek.
Yeah, you're going to see that.
I think we're gonna go down a weird road, and then it's gonna. Then humans are like, no. We want authentic.
There's
shit.
going to be
We're
some
out.
reaction.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or does it get indistinguishable?
No, I don't think so. Because human error and feeling, and
Is
especially
this
seeing
AI?
live.
No,
No,
You don't think so?
no, I know.
We're not in a loop?
No.
no.
And that's just because, 26 years as a psychonaut, like I feel things and I repeatedly feel those things.
Yeah.
That I just cannot deny that this is God and God has come in us, as us, through us, and beyond us, is connected to all
But
life.
even if we were
And
in a
that's the
loop,
thing.
that wouldn't take God out of the equation.
No,
would
but
it?
the feeling, that's what I'm saying. It's not I can't think my
can't
way through
express
it, and
it,
I
yeah.
can't also expect you to believe it.
Yeah.
Like we had one experience where you got to go a little bit over, and I know you've had some other experiences.
Not
but you
like
do,
that.
But if you do enough of the right and have the right experiences, you just leave with the gnosis that this is, it's not the only world. There's other dimensional worlds that exist, and those worlds are real too.
Yep.
But this world is real as fuck.
Yes.
And then there's other real worlds too.
Yes.
So the idea of
Multiverse?
simulation, well, it's more like it's like layers of an onion, right? So we're in the third layer of an onion, but actually we're a toothpick that goes through this layer. And then there's other layers of the onion, other dimensional densities that don't have matter, that don't have bodies, that are also real.
Well,
but we're part of one of the real dimensions in a whole world that is ultimately real.
Yeah,
Well,
I think once you have kids, when people tell me it's simulation, I'm like, fuck off. You don't love your kid enough.
Well, what about the witness? Like, so I can witness my mind, my body, and my emotions, right? You can do that. You can watch this avatar go through a lot of things. You can actually watch your brain. You can watch this empty room and clouds come in, which are thoughts, and you can watch those clouds come in and leave, right? You can also watch your body go through whatever happens physiologically to you in an emotion. You're angry, you feel your body tight, tense, tingling, heat, whatever it is. So you become this cloud of sensation, and you can get good enough if you're quiet enough to watch this cloud of sensation go through its many different manifestations. Feelings of joy, feelings of fear, feelings of anger, all that stuff. You can actually step outside of that. That would be cultivating the witness. Who is the witness? Who's actually doing this?
So
what is that?
this is, take me just a moment to unpack it. But so the witness is the witness is the toothpick that actually goes through these dimensions. So when we die, that witness is going to witness our whole life, life review witness.
We're going to say bye to ourselves.
And then we're going to remember, oh shit, we've done this many times before. The toothpick has gone through this density many times before. So we'll have the awareness to witness not only this life as Bryan, as Brennan, as Aubrey, but all the other lives. So there's at least one more dimensional witness level that's unique. We've had our own lives, reincarnation, all of the studies at University of Virginia, people are remembering specific things about their specific past life. So there's an identity of our soul self that also is the witness. And then there's a final surrender where you can surrender your own single witness, witnessing all your own lives, but merge into the witness of God, who witnesses all lives.
Is that enlightenment?
No, I don't think that's the goal. And I think that's where a lot of these Eastern traditions, they and even some Christic ideas is let go of all of your uniqueness, all of your recognition of who you are, and just merge into the one witness, the one awareness, the one love. And that's beautiful, but I don't want to do that. I want to remember my life as Aubrey. I think we all want to remember our lives and then try again. Let me go back again. Let me see if I can love a little harder next time.
Sick.
Let me see if I can do a little better. Let me see if I can experience something new.
Yeah. hey, or the lights just shut off.
Do you see what he said? You're going through this deep shit. He had checked out. He goes,
That'd be sick.
he's already done. He goes, that'd be sick. Like
Just
you're fucking touching on the
just
deepest
the bro of the group. Yeah, that'd be sick.
You're touching on the deepest shit ever. Like things that people spend their lives contemplating. Like it's like the ultimate
so
truth.
well read.
That'd be sick. And you cocked your head over at me, and it was a sideways fucking comment. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my truck.
And you know what? I'll tell you.
800 horsepower. You should have been like, here's my fuck. That's appropriate too, by the way.
Yeah.
See what's happening here? That's appropriate too, because that's the shit you're talking about. We stay alive for that too.
Also,
fucking laughing and just being like, fuck
I'm gonna
off.
be sick. The whole thing I added
You
was,
went like this with
I
the-
said, or the lights just shut off.
Aubrey's setting up a beautiful little, and guys, and so here's the little town, and we have here's the little horses are here, and here's this beautiful house. Actually, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You just see a cloud of piss. You ruined my whole life.
I think all
You took our heads and went, gang.
all spiritual people need friends like all of us because
yes,
we can
they
get
do.
way too fucking serious.
Yes.
Also, laughter is the most underrated shit as far as cultivating good energy. You want to feel good energy? Find a comic that's dialed in, that's locked in,
Right.
and you're under a spell of hilarity, and your
Right.
gut is bursting.
I say that to people
It's
who
like
give me
ecstasy.
Yeah,
It's the best
people
thing.
who hate on comics. I always say, "Hey, fuckface, Like we literally spend all our time trying to make people laugh. That's the worst we are. We're dicks. We're not great, but for the most part, I promise you, the comics that you're hating on, whoever they might be, all we do all day is sit around and try to think of ways to be funny.
Look, I work with the best shamans in the world. And the best shamans in the world can cultivate a level of positive energy that keeps you safe and keeps you like focused on what you're learning. The comics are better than any great shaman. Yeah. They're able to take a whole fucking stadium. Try to get one ayahuasca shaman to get a whole stadium. Maybe they could. Maybe if they're the baddest of the baddest.
Tim Dillon can get you laughing.
But like you get a whole stadium in the same energy, laughing, and it's the best, highest frequency energy that you can possibly imagine. Like comics are laughter shamans in a way, and it's like fucking. I have so much respect.
So true. So true.
When you work with these big time shamans, how's that? Do you pay them? They have like Venmo and shit. These
different ones. Most of the time, it's they do have. They have fucking
weird?
Venmo. And
thank you so much.
They have IGs too.
It was so spiritual. And if he's like, don't forget the Venmo on the way out. They just
slide you an invoice like at a really expensive restaurant in the end. You ever eat at Pasta Bar or Scratch?
Yeah.
You get the bill afterwards. You're like, the fuck.
Or like, thank you so much for. We can't thank you.
Hey, you've been.
Just invoice to Aubrey Marcus at onit.com.
Scratch and Pasta Bar. I never had a chance to talk to people next to me.
Fuck this all up.
The best ones will always offer the experience and then say, pay what you feel it was worth. And that form of reciprocity of like, I trust that my shit was good enough that actually you're going to pay me. You're going to pay me what's in your heart.
There was a yogi named Bryan Kest, I think, in LA who became huge. No.
What's his name?
Bryan Kest.
I'm out. I need a.
I think that was his name. And
it's
Homeboy
too regular.
Homeboy had the most beautiful women of all time coming to his school. He was a great teacher, but it was donation only. Made a fortune because he's like, I'm not charging it. And people, it's just like, whatever you want.
I own Black Swan Yoga.
Oh, you own that?
I own Black Swan Yoga. It's like best yoga studio in Austin year after year after year. We've been around like 14 years.
Yeah.
It's a donation-based studio.
Wow.
It's a fully donation-based studio where you go in and there's a recommended donation of $10. Our average is about $9.10, but you can pay $0 or you can pay $20, and it works in yoga. Now, I've tried that in other businesses, and people were like, nice festival, bro.
Yeah.
That was fun. And I'm like, nothing? Like $0?
Yeah.
For that, like we pay for all these bands and stuff. So for yoga, somehow it works. And shamanism, somehow it works.
Yeah, maybe yoga's small enough so people kind of feel.
I think it's the clientele.
I think it's the clientele.
Yeah.
I think it's selecting people
clientele.
who have reciprocity in their body.
People who go to a fucking festival are a lot of times in a van with no money and they just want to get high and fuck.
Exactly.
It's like,
or they have money like, nah, fuck it. They're good. Like if Red Lobster's like, just pay us what you think we're worth, they're going out of business in 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I was running the festival, so they're like, Aubrey has enough money.
Yeah.
So that was also the problem. Whereas Black Swan Yoga, I own it, but it's its own thing. We got teachers we got teachers that need to be paid. We got the whole thing that's running off donations. And it's like, I own it, but I'm not the face of it.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I think that helps. Because if you think you're giving money to like, if you're trying to donate to Elon Musk or like, whoever is super rich, you're going to be like, I'm not donating. Like,
that guy has way more money.
He's got plenty of money.
I might give
my money is more important to me.
Yeah.
So I think there's factors, but I think it's largely like Brendan was saying. It's like clientele. It's like people have to be of that consciousness where they trust reciprocity, and that you find that in
Chances are, if you have time to go to yoga during the day, you probably got some.
Well, it's not even during the day, even at night though.
Got some money. Usually single. Usually, or you don't have children. You just got time. You got time. It's great. But that's great. Black Swan Yoga, I see it all over. It's great.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, man. You had a great that whole On It gym was so amazing.
Yeah, now it's correct gym
now.
I mean,
oh, it is. It's the same gym now. It's called Correct.
Yeah,
because that's where I would
it's
go
so
and
sick.
work out.
You haven't been there in a hot second, huh?
I've been there. Last time I was there was a month ago, I think.
Nah, you would have saw the correct signs everywhere.
Yeah, maybe 2 months
ago. Yeah, because we did it about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's about 2 months. But I love it though. So it's the same place.
It's the same place. So basically, so why? So the question.
Juan there and all the same characters.
Oh yeah,
same
it's
stuff.
just same stuff, just better. And the question is like, why start another? You already did On It. Why start Correct?
That's the first. Me and him got together. He's like, hey, I want to bring the band back together. I want to get you in. I want to start the supplement company. I just asked him. I said, why though? You've already done it.
And the reason why is I had started working on a formula while I was at On It, and I couldn't quite put it together. Like, it takes a while. You have to test different ingredients. You look at all the clinical research. You put something together. I was close, but I never quite hit it. And then I was kind of this thing, like I was fucking really close to a disruptive formula. Like Alpha Brain disrupted the world. Like it hit the population. People were taking supplements that they could feel. They had double-blind clinical trials to prove that they worked. And like, it was a thing. And so I'm sitting on this formula and we keep tinkering with it. And then we find something that works. And we're like, holy shit, this is as important a formulation as Alpha Brain ever was. Like the world, I want this. First of all, I want to have this available every day of my life. And I think the world wants this. So I got to put it in a vehicle to create another company because this formula is fire. And then we had another formula that works on exogenous ketones and then an ingredient that also stimulates endogenous, so your body's own ketone production. So it's both. So you get the benefit of outside of the body ketones and you stimulate inside the body ketones. So we mixed it with electrolytes. So we have formulas that are just so fucking good that I couldn't not do it. And also, sure, I want to run it back and make that type of money again and then pour that out into all the places that I poured it out. I've gotten to do amazing things. I bought 5 of my friends' houses. You know, I've got to help Brendan when Brendan needed help. You know, I've got to like be there for my friends and then put money in the charities that are important. And I got to, yeah, sure, I did some fucking luxurious cool shit. I rented a yacht with Aaron Rodgers and we cruised around and like went to the islands. Like I've spent some of my money for fun.
Help with my mortgage and my home. I love that.
You just really need it, bro. I need to feel. I need to feel. Bring it, Brian. I need to feel that you really need it.
I would love to just take those monthly payments.
But that formula he's talking about is an energy pill.
Yeah. So that's our correct energy.
Really?
Big boy.
It's fire. And
I'm all
like
about
the
it.
level of clarity, it's not like a regular energy thing. Like you're so mentally clear and we have lots of studies on it.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. It's maybe not focused in the same way that Alpha Brain wants, but it's clarity and energy.
Sorry,
it's like
I have a Magic Mind Max right now.
it's a
Can I ask you a
fucking different
question?
thing.
What have you looked at what Bryan Johnson has done with his formula?
Yeah, the problem with him is I just don't like him. I just don't like him. And like that's the thing. Like
He's also
I don't
not the picture of
I don't
health.
want to
Like, he's-
listen to people
Who the fuck is he?
like
He's that guy who wants to
him
live
up, Chin.
forever
That huge guy.
and super pale and super skinny. He doesn't look great.
but like I don't really trust people.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I don't
No, whatever he's taking, tell me what it is because I'm not taking it.
like I don't like
I don't
him.
want to look like Dracula.
You don't want to go full Nosferatu?
Look like shit.
a
And
little on the spectrum.
he's also not like when I hear him talk.
That's a
I
gay
don't.
man.
So I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's one of the reasons why I appreciate Bobby Kennedy so much in the position he's in. That dude is fit as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I've gone to Gold's Venice with him and watched how he trains and like watched what he does and how he lives spiritually, physically. Like I admire him. I've skied with him. He fucking beats me. I'm a good skier. He beats me down the mountain so easily.
Little beast.
You know, he's a beast.
Yeah.
And like, so I trust the people who speak the truth.
I don't trust that guy.
And like actually live a lifestyle that, so maybe he has some good things that he's advising.
Our
Maybe,
supplements run circles around that clown.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, we run circles around.
Yeah, so you haven't, he's experimented with his body. I'm just wondering, I think that the science of how to feel good
Yeah.
and is really, really coming along.
I think that's what we want. We want to feel good because when we feel good, we get more shit done.
Yeah.
And then we get more shit done.
But you're a
and then
guy
we
who's been
feel
in this
better.
space a long time. If I said to you can only take 5 supplements a day, what would they be? Can I just guess? Can I guess?
Okay, sure.
Deca, Winstrol, Anabolic.
I'm going to say creatine, vitamin D, some kind of a fish oil or an omega-3 or something. I might even say nicotine. And
I wouldn't put nicotine in supplements
No,
category.
okay,
but
you wouldn't? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was stupid.
Some kind of a multivitamin and
No. So, but it's not too far off. So vitamin D, I get out in the sun a lot.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll supplement with that, but I'm in the sun all the fucking time.
If you're outside, you don't need vitamin.
So ultimately that's just occasionally if I'm in the winter and I'm in a weird place. Magnesium. I think most of us are magnesium deficient.
I am,
And
so
so
I'm taking it.
magnesium is super important for me and take that every night.
should I take it at night?
I take it at night because it helps relax you. So magnesium, krill oil. So I still take the Onnit krill oil.
A fish oil of some kind.
A fish oil. I think it's the best version of a fish oil because it has the omega-3s plus astaxanthin, which is also the ingredient that makes it red. That's an antioxidant. So you get both. It also keeps it from spoiling. So krill oil is another one that I take. And then from there, that's actually the fundamental supplements that I just don't go anywhere without, that I take every single day. And then otherwise, I'm taking performance supplements like Alpha Brain. I'm taking Correct Fuel, for both the electrolytes, which are replenishing. I'm fucking sweating now. I'm a sweaty dude. So electrolytes, I got one in my bag right now. I'm about to pop it out. It has the ketones, which make me feel good. Then I have Correct Energy, which helps me with that energetic clarity. And then I have Alpha Brain. So those are the 5 that like I don't go anywhere
it's
without.
all performance related.
Well, except for the magnesium and the krill oil.
Got it.
So those to me are like the essentials. And then vitamins, I eat a really healthy, diverse
So you don't
diet.
feel like you need.
So, when I get tested, I'm always fine.
Yeah.
And so I don't take a multivitamin. You piss most of that stuff out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this is prescriptive for everybody, but for me, if you want the actual truth, when I'm packing a bag, overnight bag, going anywhere, I'm never leaving home without those 5 things, period.
And your energy from Correct is, are you allowed to say what's in there? Or-
Yeah. So the big ingredient is this caffeine metabolite called paraxanthine. And paraxanthine is so caffeine metabolite, what does that mean? It means when you have caffeine, the body breaks caffeine down into multiple constituent components that are actually different, but it breaks it down and metabolizes it into something that's not contained in the caffeine itself, but it's a byproduct of caffeine. And they isolated this one called paraxanthine. And that's the big workhorse in the formula. It's a caffeine metabolite. So it seems to harness the best effects of caffeine. Because when we have caffeine, we do get the effect of paraxanthine, but we also get a bunch of different effects, other metabolites, other things that happens. But you isolate the paraxanthine, it's like the purest, best part of caffeine. Then we surrounded that with other different
like
natural
crack
ingredients.
versus cocaine.
Yeah, and the key thing was then what are we surrounded by? How do we amplify it? We looked at clinical studies that showed this thing, when you add it, it amplifies the effect of caffeine. And we're like, well, we made a bet. If it amplifies the effect of caffeine in a good way, then will it amplify the effect of the caffeine metabolite? And so that was the wager that we made. And from a feeling tone, now we'll get this, clinically tested at some point, even though all the ingredients have clinical research. But that was the key thing, is making that bet that, all right, now let's look at what works well, proven to work well with caffeine. Let's bet that it works well with the caffeine metabolite. And that's what helped us pull this off. And that's why it's so disruptive.
Correct.
Any other brain?
Correct with a K.
Correct with a K.
Really?
Yeah, and Brendan's a full partner in this. So
I would like some.
we're in this together.
I'd like some supplements.
Let's go. I got you, bro.
We got you,
You know what I'm
bud.
saying? Krill oil, all that shit.
Yep.
Chin, you got something for us?
I want to go to a.
Sure, we'll just do a couple.
Those workouts are the best.
They're the best. We got hot and cold in there. We got like ice baths and a sauna.
Half an hour and you're in and out and you just feel incredible.
Yeah, it's fire.
And then you guys also have jiu-jitsu near there and
I know. 10th
Muay
planet.
Thai and all that stuff. I say it the right way.
I got a hard 20, Chin, left.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually good on time. So
Okay.
But so we talked about this.
Oh,
there's
remember
2
those?
hunters.
So there's 2 guys in Colorado that were
Yes.
experienced hunters. They go missing. And I'm like, oh, there's foul play here. Turns out they found them. They were struck by lightning
Come on.
Damn.
because they found all their shit in their truck, like everything. Like these guys are 2 experienced hunters. There was a storm, but I'm like, even if there's a storm, if they're experienced, they
lightning
should figure it
fucking
out.
hit 'em?
Lightning.
Dude.
Colorado generally ranks the 3rd among U.S. states for number of lightning strikes.
There was all right. So there's a story on my ranch in Arizona. We have these old cowboys that live there, and one of the old cowboys had a horseshoer, and this horseshoer, came over and would always have a bucket of water in the back of his truck. And finally, Chuck, who's been out there, he's like just salt of the earth. Chuck asked him, so, hey, why do you have that bucket of water? It's always in the back of your truck. Like, you don't need it for the horses. You're not drinking it. Like, why do you have this bucket of water? And he goes, oh, well, that's to put myself out. And Chuck was like, what, you catch yourself on fire? He's like, nah, I've been struck by lightning 11 times and my clothes catches fire. So I always bring this bucket around
11
so I can put my clothes out.
Jesus Christ.
So there's something weird that happens
Old
where
for sure.
once you're struck by lightning, you get struck by lightning like way more.
That's
you're
God
like way
just trying
more
to get
likely.
mark that dude
It's
out.
fucking crazy.
That's a dude. Is like keeps going. Miss me.
Yeah. And God's like, God dang it.
I know.
Well,
you come for the king, you best not miss.
Yeah,
That's it.
With Bosty on the Field of Dreams baseball field, whenever there's rain, if there's lightning even 15 miles away, there's a loud siren, like it's
Yeah.
fucking World War
They don't
II.
play around.
And
Because it can hit the ground. I guess.
well, all
and
the
kill
kids.
everybody.
Hold up, let me finish. So all the kids go running. The parents go running. All the kids go. And I'm like, Bosty, let's just stay out here. And I'll fucking pitch to you. I'm in the rain pitching to them. One of the coaches goes, "Hey man, you might want to go in like with the rest of them." I'm like, "We're good, man. It's just rain." He's like, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, some kids thought the same thing, and 2 of them were struck by lightning and died. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, it's different out here. I'm like, oh,
I guess because it can hit the ground.
Chin, can you bring up
You
the
can hit,
video?
you're holding a metal bat.
Chin, can you bring up the
Yes.
video of a Japanese guy gets struck by lightning
And there's big
twice?
trees.
But there's that thing. Have you ever seen?
It says it blows off like.
But have you seen?
It,
Have you
like,
seen
leaves a
when
stain on the
when
ground.
cows are all dead in a field, and it's because the lightning hit the field, and I guess the field was wet, and they all just died.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they all get it.
Yes, they all get it.
That's why you can't be in pools.
I
and
think you
shit,
can
right?
see. I think you can see videos.
All right, it's the
of that.
That top
second
one?
one. The
This
second
one?
one. So watch this one. All right, it's raining. People are running around. There's no audio. People are running. Oh shit, it's raining. Damn.
They don't want to get wet.
I don't want to get wet. And then homie's like, all right, I'm gonna fucking leave the
But
office.
you're
here,
safe
coming
in a
up.
car, right? Because
I'm
the
just,
rubber tires.
Is that him?
Oh, this you might need a. This
Fast
is like
forward?
the long version, but
This is that extended.
oh no,
version.
yeah. This is fine. It's about to start. All right, this guy's going. Oh damn!
Damn.
Look at the stain it left on the concrete.
Or he shit his
Oh,
pants.
fuck, dude.
It
he
stained the
dead?
concrete. No,
Yeah,
he
he's
gets
dead,
up,
man.
He gets up.
And it strikes him as he's getting away.
So
That's
he gets
God
up,
being
he
like, hey,
gets up.
Bubba.
All right, so
you're
watch
up.
him get up. Watch him get up. He's like, damn. All right,
there he goes.
Yeah, so he's getting up.
He's like, man, that was crazy. At
"Fuck,
least I
that
made
was
it."
Like, I was unbelievable. My head hurts.
no.
This
My head hurts.
sucks.
Oh, wow. And that doesn't kill him? Are you kidding me?
No, like, what a day.
Holy
I
shnikes.
mean,
What a-
shit.
That's just God
Ken,
being like,
bring
bud.
up, bring up cows in a field or sheep in a field getting killed by one strike that'll hit the ground.
Well, was it cows
And
or
it just
sheep,
goes
bro?
shoom. I think it was both.
In
Hey, Chin, I think you're not going to find anything.
I think you will.
Struck by lightning, right?
Yeah.
And they all die.
Lightning's fucking scary.
It's scary.
Especially
This one says cow.
out here is wild, dude. The
Oh,
storms
man.
out here are
It just-
fucking.
it just shakes
no one
the
told me
house.
that. No one told me that.
Shakes the
My
house.
trees fucking hitting the house.
yeah, it's bonkers.
Watch this.
Okay, here we go. Oh, down
There
for
it
the
goes.
count. That's not the video you saw, right?
No,
Yeah,
there's
they're-
another video
most of
where
them
they
seem pretty fine,
Where they all
actually.
die. Where they
Yeah.
all die.
That I was
I've been doing this podcast long enough, Chin. You're gonna be looking for that video
No, I won't.
for
I won't.
30
You'll see.
minutes.
You'll see. You'll see.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. One lightning strike. Look at that.
oh god.
Because the ground was wet.
Yeah.
Killed
they just-
killed 530 sheep in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or the
In
fucking sheep
Georgia.
killing aliens.
That's such a
did it.
disaster for a shepherd.
Yeah, who's he gonna
Such
fuck?
a disaster.
Right?
That's such a problem. Look at that though.
And then you think about how
how did
religions
that
are formed, and there's no like, how do you explain it? You have to say like, these sheep were wicked.
It's
or
the book
did-
of Job. You lost
sinned,"
everything, right?
You know, like Sodom gets eviscerated. It's like,
Goddamn,
yeah, they were.
I don't
butt-fucking
quite
out there.
believe this though. I don't
you think
know.
they're all sleeping?
No, I think they were dead from something else, but I might be wrong. But that's crazy right there. Because
I
that
believe
makes
the
no
light.
sense.
What else would kill all of them instantly
Yeah.
like that, bro?
aliens, bro.
But there's video of them just kind of there's the thing and they just go like this, boom, they all fall because
Yeah,
you
I
can
can
see
imagine what that looks like. Right? Just get out
It. In
of
other
it.
words, like, come on.
I
let's
can
go.
imagine what that'd be crazy.
Oh, this is
I
crazy.
can use my
too.
imagination.
A lot of guys, yeah, this is lightning. Watch this. This fucked up a lot. I think some people.
Damn, ass up, face down.
Yeah,
from
man.
lightning.
It killed
So
some
instant,
people,
so you
man.
can't see it.
Oh
No, yeah,
boy.
it
That'd be a
killed
bad
like
way to go.
yeah. Did you hear about this?
boy.
Where they were killed, like 9 people.
Oh boy.
Oof. What else you got, Chen? That's terrible.
I mean,
But,
is
but
that
back to those guys, those hunters. That makes sense. They couldn't see any foul play.
Makes
All
sense.
those shit was in the truck.
Makes sense.
The lightning got them. Terrible.
It's the last thing you're thinking about.
You know what? At least there's no pain.
No, it's quick.
It should be pretty quick.
Yeah.
What's this, Jed?
This is Xi Jinping, Putin, and Kim Jong Un. There was like an event held in Beijing.
Yep.
Where I guess a bunch of world leaders were, obviously celebrating the end of World War II. So they're just walking together in this little red carpet thing, and they started talking about
What they were talking about was this. Putin and Xi were talking about, like, maybe we can live forever
Yep.
with technology.
Hot Mike captures Putin and
It was
Xi
just a conversation.
discussing
Xi.
organ transplants and immortality.
Yeah.
Because they're just trying to rule forever,
They were just talking about how we may not have to die.
and they can just rule forever.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
It says Putin translator could be heard saying in Chinese, "The longer you live, the younger you become."
Yeah, in other words, they're just talking
Z
about...
can be heard responding. Some predict that in this century, humans may live up to 150
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, but that's... We've
And
all
then
had
they
that
bump
conversation.
fist.
We've all had that conversation.
and the amount of people that watch this is insane. It was like
Well, those two
Billions.
would fucking know if anyone's doing it.
Yeah.
They would figure it out.
I mean,
Russia and China.
The trend is definitely going that way. How long it'll be, I don't know.
Good luck, though. We got to keep finding meaning. You want to
But there's also all kinds of like toxins and poisons that keep. I mean, hopefully we're cleaning some of that up, but we're not breathing clean air. We're not drinking clean water. Things are tough too. So maybe it all evens out, or maybe we start to
Yeah.
make advances. Who knows?
I think
So
we'll
it says
make
Xi Jinping says in this century, people are expecting to live up to 150 years. Then Putin replies, organs can be continuously transplanted. Humans could become immortal. Xi responds, that means in the future, long life will become normal.
They're both godless, by the way.
yeah, that's a problem.
They both are. Their religion is
The
communism.
people who need to live the longest are not them.
Yeah. I think Xi's sister, Xi's father was put in jail by the communists. His mother, I think his mother killed herself, and his sister ended up killing herself. So he went through. Didn't have an easy time of it,
He's chubby.
and then he climbed that.
He's chubby, right? He's chubby.
He runs.
You say that
so
over
is
there,
Kim Jong.
you get killed.
He runs China.
Yeah, Kim Jong too.
Yeah,
Neither of them win
chubby.
health awards.
No.
Yeah, Kim Jong Un.
What else you got, Chad?
I think Brian's got this
Is
one.
crazy.
Even if I don't agree with Putin and 99% of what he did, that picture of him on a horse where he's just shirtless,
Gangster.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
like a
I
little
get it.
respect. Like,
Yeah, I get it.
Judo.
I mostly
Yeah.
disagree with everything about you, but knuckles.
Yeah.
like that's
picture's
Gotta give him
hard.
some knuckles.
That
Yeah.
picture's dope.
I mean, he's definitely a man. He's all man. Yeah, you see this on the mall in Washington. So you know what the mall is, B? The mall is like the huge lawn where the Capitol is. It's like it's where everybody goes. It's where they had the Million Man March, everything. These artists put up a Trump-Epstein friendship statue, holding hands, and
I'm sure it's
something
taken
like
down
best
by
friends
now.
forever.
It was
and
taken down, yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee that was up for 2 minutes.
That was one of the saddest things I thought about the Trump administration when they made that magic trick where the Epstein list disappeared, and it's like, what? Wait, there's no list.
I don't know. I feel like there
It's
is no list.
2025 though. People aren't going to let it go.
But I don't think there is a list. What if there's no list?
There's a list. There's the people who are actually conducting the actual sex, and they're like, we know the names.
I think though that
Even
list,
Pam Bondi said there's a list.
There's also Ghislaine.
told us she was gonna give it to
Ghislaine
her.
is in jail for sex trafficking.
Yeah, so who did she sex
So who did
traffic
she-
to?
Exactly.
well, she
Why
was,
is she in
convicted,
prison?
she was convicted of trafficking young girls to Jeffrey Epstein and taking part. And so that's what
So
the
who are
jury
they
found
fucking?
her guilty of.
so
who are they
yeah,
fucking? That's the list. Simple.
So they
Who are all these young girls
The
fucking?
young girls who came forward. So remember, so in 2008, 40 witnesses, many of them underage, came forward about Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, the prosecutor had a case. It was a case.
This is in Palm Beach, Florida.
It was an
You got a
open and
slap
shut
on the
case.
wrist.
40 witnesses, many underage. They went home. Their parents came. They brought a huge case. The DA, it was all a set deal. What happened was Epstein gets this cushy deal because he's an intelligence asset, quote unquote. So what happened was he gets his own wing in West Palm County Jail, and he can go home at night.
He
Or
gets
can
to
go home.
leave and
he can
do
go
things-
home. He
take
has to
meetings.
he has to report at night to
Yes.
sleep there. It was the craziest cushy deal. The reason that the case came back up was because when you do that, when the DA cuts a deal, you have to let the victims know. They didn't let the victims know this time. They didn't. So the lawyers.
None of this
were-
is fishy
and
to
the,
you,
The
B?
lawyers were so mad that they never forgot it. And they brought the case again. And they said, excuse me, this guy's a scumbag. He was trafficking underage girls. That is an open and shut case. We have all the evidence. And somehow you guys, this guy who got Lex Wexner's house for no money, one of the richest men in America, had total control over his company.
No, but B, we know all this, right?
Yeah.
With all this is public knowledge.
So he
what
was
we're
clearly
asking
an
is
intelligence
those young
asset.
women that he was trafficking.
Yeah.
Where's the list of the men who were partaking in these parties?
And that's
So
why
here's-
this
so
is
wait, wait, wait.
no. This is simple. He was an intelligence asset.
Yes.
They were not only trafficking young underage women to trap people, to honeypot. It's called
Yes.
a honeypot
Yes.
operation.
Yes.
They honeypotted powerful people.
Yes.
Then they had them
that
on
list?
tape,
Yes.
and then they had them
Get
by
this,
the
though.
balls. They could blackmail
Right.
anybody.
But
Where's
get
that
this,
list?
get this.
Where's that list?
He got tipped. He got tipped to the raid. They were coming in his house. So when
he destroyed it, right?
When they come in, they take your computers and everything. All the computers were gone.
But Ghislaine
Everything was
Maxwell
gone.
doesn't know the list?
So
Or the clientele?
This is the point. All that evidence was gone. It was all destroyed. Obviously, somebody, if it's Mossad, whoever it is, they know how to get rid of shit like that, right?
But they would have also had copies.
So in 2008,
Correct.
but that'd be whoever that is.
Yeah.
In 2008, what they said is that there was no evidence because it was all fucking scrubbed. And when you cut a plea deal, the part of the plea deal is you agree not to collect evidence. You agree that the case is dead. So nobody's on that case anymore. So guess what?
You're talking
It all
about from
goes away.
2008, though.
Yes.
But what about this case?
So this case was a rehashing of the 2008 case.
Not all of it.
Most of it, all of it was actually, yes. So if you look at it, he was being retried for the shit he did 2008 and prior. Okay, that's what was really going on. By that time, the jig was up and everybody knew. He had already been convicted. He was already welcomed back into society somehow, which is unbelievable to me. But for the most part, this was a guy.
So you don't think there's a list at all? There's nothing.
I think all that evidence is fucking gone.
But that
And if
means
there is
there's
a list.
But that means there's a list.
There's a list. You know what it is? It's the flight log. Good luck with that.
Yeah, you can't figure that out.
What are you going to do? Okay, I was on the plane.
Yeah.
Cool. I was at the island.
There's a lot of people who were on the plane who were just
Sure.
getting rides.
And there were people
Yeah.
who were at the island
Tons.
at
But
parties.
JFK was
Sure.
there.
Yeah.
Good luck
All
with
right,
that.
sorry,
Good
yeah,
luck
yeah.
trying
He
to
was on
find.
it.
Good
Trump
luck
was
trying
on
to
it.
find.
All right, so
video.
it's hypothetical that
Yeah.
the list was destroyed, but somebody probably has
There's
that
a
list,
list.
and somebody's probably wielding power over other people
That's right.
who've been
That
blackmailed.
could very well be the case.
Yeah.
And so
That's-
I guess this is the first time I've thought it even plausible that actually the list was destroyed. However, if they were really interested, they could rebuild a new list,
100%.
talking to the women.
Ghislaine?
Exactly.
Here's
Orchestrated
the
it.
other issue that Kash Patel was talking about.
And she has it
If
pretty
you
push.
had video of those young girls who are being exploited, if you had that video, you're not allowed to make that public. That would be against her rights. So that is something that may be evidence, but all of that shit went through the ringer already. And those girls, they're not going to fucking be like, hey,
No, they
this
are.
girl was being,
No, the girls are coming out now. They're like, if you're not going to speak up,
the
we
girls
are.
are coming
But
out
the
now
law,
saying that they
but the
did
law
this.
doesn't work that way.
But let me explain this. So the girls are suing the Epstein estate.
Correct.
Okay. If there was video and they said, look, I was 14, 15 when this happened. Here's the video of me with
Well,
X.
they wouldn't
X.
have the videos.
If they had, but if anybody had that video, the lawyers or anybody, remember that would be worth gold because now you can really sue the estate.
Exactly.
Right now you're suing
Well,
the
no,
estate based
but the
on
victims
hearsay.
aren't going to have the video. They would never allow that.
No, they've never.
Yeah,
allowed
all I'm
it.
saying
It's
is
the powers
if
that
there
be have
was
the
right,
video.
if there was video,
I think
It's like Prince Charles, right? Massive, powerful
Yeah.
dude from the royal family. We know for a fact he's fucked.
you know what I think?
He had to step down.
Yeah, and here's the other possibility. Here's the other thing we're not
You
talking.
couldn't go to him like, hey, who else was there?
Yeah,
I know.
And I bet he could give you a fucking list.
I think there's a they, and I think they have the fucking list, and they're wielding power.
So
to
first
I
of all-
agree, and I think, but people think it's just the left. It's left and right. It's
Yep.
the one thing they both agree on. This can't get out.
Well, first of all,
Yep.
they
That's
came
what's
to
going on.
the
I agree.
lawyers
I
came
agree.
to a lot of these people already. This is the other thing people forget. So they came to Prince Andrew. They asked for $26 million. Prince Andrew said no, and that's when they went public with it. So these lawyers, remember, with the victims that are being represented, they go to the accused and they say, we have evidence and we can embarrass the shit out of you that you were on that island with this girl when she was 17, 16 or whatever. You want to play ball? Give us $50 million. And then you negotiate from there. Prince Andrew said, fuck off. And they went, very cool. Here we go. And he's never been the same. So I think it's also very possible that these people who have all the money in the world, when they came, a lot of these lawyers came to those
paid it.
people, they fucking paid it off.
Yeah, and look, I
And
understand.
now
why
it
we'll
all
never
goes
see it.
away.
Yeah, and if you're this young girl, you've had this horrible thing happen, and you're like, am I happier if this guy goes to jail, or am I happier if I got
20 mil?
20 mil.
Yeah.
And like, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
But
for
let me
wanting
ask
to
you
do
this
that. But
question.
also, you got to also think, like, please think about the future of the world.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even as a dad, let's say it's happening with your kids, and I'm like, hey, they're offering me 30 mil if I just stay quiet. I'm like, holy shit.
Or you'll get nothing.
Or you get nothing. That guy, especially in today's
Hearsay.
society, it's hearsay. Even though you
It's
have
a 5-year
evidence,
trial.
we're dealing with their lawyers. Like, he's probably still not going to get in trouble. Give me the 30.
Yeah. I think
And
it's
let me
it's
ask
an
you this
impossible
question.
spot.
Let me ask you guys this question. So do you think that it's possible he was an Israeli asset, right? Like,
It's definitely
Absolutely.
possible.
right? So let's just say my guess is Ehud Barak was at Epstein's house. We know that. I mean, he was the
There's a
prime
lot of
minister.
video,
He
yeah.
was like, okay, so whatever's going on there, he clearly had ties to Israeli intelligence. I doubt that the Mossad and the Israelis have trouble getting rid of information. And by the way, it is not in Israel's interest to be found where someone finds out that they were honeypotting and blackmailing a former US president like Bill Clinton. Do you know what that would do to international relations, to everything?
Yeah.
No way.
I mean,
that's
I think-
not
I
worth
think-
it.
But you're
That's an
confirming.
act of
But
war,
you're confirming
practically.
what we're saying. So you're basically saying what we're saying. But you're saying maybe there is a list. You're
Yes.
never seeing
You're
it.
never seeing it.
And if there was a list, it's destroyed,
Correct.
or the powers that be will never let it
You-
go.
you're never
'Cause
seeing
they're,
it.
they're like, yep, you do.
No, no,
this,
Here's
you do
here's
this.
why I think
You're dealing with real power.
Here's why I think the U.S. intelligence was a part of it, because of that cushy time where he got busted and he got the
Yes.
easy deal. Like, I think whatever force that was had power over our judicial system
Yep.
and had, and
yeah.
I think so. It was part. I think maybe this is a joint effort that our
100%.
intelligence and potentially Mossad and
good for-
potentially
I agree
other-
with that.
all of them.
and potentially everybody else
Correct.
is playing this secret game.
Yep.
That's beneath the surface, and their game is we want total power.
Yep.
And that a lot of people who we think are enemies who are playing this game
They're
of
buddies
enemy,
behind the
like
scenes.
left, right. You know,
Agreed.
you actually see them getting together. They're laughing.
Yeah.
They're talking all this shit against each other, but they're having the best time together.
Yep.
And I think
I
that's
don't think
there's
the
like
CIA,
that's the thing.
the CIA, actually the larger indictment here is not that the CIA was involved, because the CIA would then be collecting evidence on its own citizenry, which is already against its charter, and heads would roll.
do.
The other thing,
they
thing
clearly
is,
do.
well, but the more embarrassing thing is that Israeli intelligence has the kind of influence over the American judicial
That they have us
system
by the balls. Yeah.
and our intelligence
they
system to
do.
say, hey, kill that.
Yeah.
And what people, I just did a podcast with Lindy Lee, who is the chief Democratic fundraisers, who said, the people that run this world, that you want to talk about the deep state, people talk about the CIA, get the fuck out of here. That's amateur talk. The people that run this world are the donors, the donor class, the people with real money that you don't know, that can call the White House and change policy. Because if you want to get elected again,
Yeah.
you ain't going to
Money-
do this.
money players.
Money
Yep.
players. But I mean the
Old
real money players
players.
on the Republican and the Democratic side. And
And do they happen to be Jewish?
some of them are Christian, some of them
Full
are,
circle.
yeah,
Full
but-
circle.
But
You said they don't.
but at the end of the day, yes, that's not a secret that there's a lot of powerful
Wealthy.
people who have interests, you know.
And I think it's a combination of a bunch of people.
Yes.
There's going to be some.
course.
Jews,
They're all
there's
in
going to be
on
some,
it.
but there's
Yeah.
going to be people of every race, nation, creed,
Yep.
but
Mainly
somehow
Jewish.
they got like a little secret deal that's going on.
Yep.
I believe that. I don't know that for sure, but it feels like there
good
is
guess.
that there is a they, and that they have an immense amount of power.
Yep.
You know, like
And
the
it's-
world
it's an-
and like
it's a
the World
very
Economic
small group of
Forum. The
people.
World Economic
Yeah.
Forum
Jews are.
wasn't totally a bad place to point to.
Huh?
Like the World Economic Forum, people thinking that was the hub. It's not a bad place to point to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're pointing at different places, like I don't know for sure, and I know lots of people were in there, probably aren't in the secret part. I think it's circles within circles.
There are very powerful people, billionaires. Let's just take the Republican side, that are very interested in putting people in power who are, first of all, Christian, second of all, white, third of all American to their core in that
But that's
sense.
tribalism, right?
It's tribalism.
Of course they are.
That is a fact, and they also have farms they have their own information farms where they pay influencers to make videos to support the other side, and the same goes with the left.
Left, right, yeah, they're all doing it.
That's
Is that
kind
it,
of
Chin?
our source.
I got hard out.
And I think fundamentally authenticity is going to win. That's my faith. It's just
Couldn't agree more.
faith.
It has- you know
that
what?
At some
It
point,
has to.
people telling the truth, we're going
Yes.
to be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Our faculties of
Well,
telling
it's harder
bullshit.
and harder to cover a lie, isn't it? Now it's
It
harder
is.
and harder.
Yep.
It is.
Transparency is like making it almost impossible
Yep.
to keep this lie going.
Well,
Look at
you
how
know-
we're talking.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the ultimate non-conspiracy theorist, but the number of people that are actually running our government, very small group.
There you go. And you said there's no list on Full Circle. You said there is a list, but got destroyed.
I'll be talking about this in Albuquerque, New Mexico at Hyenas. I'll be talking about this. I'll be revealing the secrets. I have the Epstein
You have the list.
I'm going to
Oh,
reveal it
shit.
in Albuquerque,
Albuquerque.
New Mexico at Hyenas, October 3rd and 4th.
That's the place to do it.
That's
And then
right.
if that doesn't get the people going,
Come to Plano, Texas,
he'll
November
reveal
21,
it there
22.
as well.
That's it.
Yeah.
So get
That's
some Ob. We love you. It's
Yeah.
correct.
Love you guys too.
Correct
It's great
all
to see
day,
you guys.
baby.
Great to
we
see
love you, Ob.
Great to see you,
This is
man.
the Fire Kid. We're out.